Welcome to another episode of Satisfying Static. That 5-second count in is long every time. Every time.
Does it need to be 5?
That last 3 seconds. Yeah, is there an. I should look at the settings and see if I can edit that, because that last 3 seconds is like so long.
Just torture for both of us.
It really is.
Know.
Anyway.
Sitting here staring at each other.
We really are.
Another podcast.
It's silence and we're just staring at each other. It's terrible. It's awful. Anyway, this episode's gay.
Yeah,
it's Pride Month, so we're gonna
Happy Pride Month.
We're gonna have a gay episode. So I thought we'd start by sharing our shared sexuality.
Why did you say it like that?
Because it's funny, because we're both. I was gonna say sharing our sexualities, and I was like, they're the same, Kristine. Why wouldn't you just say?
Well, okay, no, maybe this is an interesting point of conversation. I mean, were you going to say lesbian? Because I feel like that word is problematic.
Oh, really? So I identify as a lesbian.
Yeah.
Potentially a subcategory of like a demisexual, because I have a tough time finding women objectively sexually attractive without knowing them a little bit, at least. Like I have like strip clubs don't work for me. I don't care much for that.
Okay.
And I would have argued that you are now a $LA bean.
Well, so I would say yes. However, like I like to say women loving women, because I don't know, like sometimes it's hard to say lesbian and not feel like I'm excluding like non-binary people who wouldn't totally be off the list, or like certain trans people wouldn't 100% be off of my list. So I've been saying vagina owners.
I was going to say
is the category I prefer, because I don't know how to explain that otherwise. So yeah, but typically I prefer to go by queer, but that confuses straight people, so I just say lesbian so I don't get questions about it, to be very honest with you.
Right. No, that's fair. This is going to get dicey.
I know. It's a tricky one. This has been a huge like mental conversation for me the last like 2 years, however long it's been.
I don't know what camp you sit in, but assigned female at birth, identifying non-binary individuals, I could date.
Right.
Assigned male at birth,
right.
Non-binary, I don't think I'm in the same boat. And,
right.
And the difference is just genitalia, right? Like they have something that could potentially harm me, and I don't want it.
Exactly, 100%. I'm in the same boat, and that's why I find it difficult to say lesbian sometimes, because it's like, okay, well, non-binary people technically not woman, but would I be attracted to certain non-binary people? Yeah, I know I would be. And like the same goes for certain trans people. Like at some point, like, would I date someone who is trans and like, or transitioning, and that's a conversation we're having? That's not something I would say no to. So like,
can we say we're into X's? Because they have 2 X chromosomes?
Can you not? Oh my God. Did Olivia think that was funny? Can she hear you from here?
She's in the other room.
Oh,
I'm
confident
her eyes rolled so hard they hit the floor.
Just like
mine. Yeah, your eyes really did. But I mean, that escapes gender, right? Like you have 2 X chromosomes.
Oh, okay, fair.
And you're not attracted to those who have. Well, this is not fair, because there are some genetic abnormalities that have a Y or a partial Y, but they are predominantly female and or female appearing. This is so dicey.
Always exceptions, right? And so this is the thing that like is the hard part for me. Like when we're discussing these labels, you're asking me about like my sexuality, right? So you're you're asking me like, what would I sleep with? The answer to that is vaginas. So I would sleep with other vagina owners, probably. There is a likely chance that if we get along and I'm into you and you own a vagina, it might happen for us. But would you fall under the category of woman? Not necessarily.
That's true. That's true. Heard, heard. Yeah. Um. Okay.
So that's why I say queer. Because I also don't like pan because also men, no. You know?
I was just gonna say, yeah,
Yeah.
you're not really in the pan or bi category because
Right.
like men in general just aren't your bag.
No. Yeah. That's like a, that's like a no. Cis men, no. So neither of those feel right either. And like I know queer is also problematic for a lot of reasons, but like for me it just seems to make more sense right
Cis
now.
men, no, but would you date a trans man?
Maybe question mark.
I could see. So can I tell you how I read you?
Yeah.
I could see you being with someone pre-transition and then just staying with that person through transition and being happy that way. But I don't know that you could approach it post transition because I feel like you, in your mind, would identify them with a man as they are supposed to be.
Right. But also so like I'm in a very weird, obviously like I haven't been through that experience so I don't know, but in my head I'm also like wait, but I dated men for so long and my relationships were very much like friendships. So like obviously this relationship would be something completely new and I would have to learn, but like would I just approach it like kind of like yeah, I was dating a guy again and just sort of treat them like a bud?
Yeah, I don't, and that's almost my question, right? Like, would your brain just like desexualize them
Right,
because
right.
they're a male?
Yeah, see, I don't know. So that's the thing is like um again, like I feel like certain trans humans yes, but like not in all cases and it's like that really is just kind of a case by case basis, but like if you fall under the queer umbrella, you can ask me.
Oh, it's a nice caveat. And vagina toting humans, she's single. So
Well, and now y'all know what I'm into.
that was a long,
Well, it wasn't
long
like an easy
walk.
one for me, as you know. So, like, especially at first, just like even being okay thinking that I'm bi, then being like, oh, actually, just kidding.
I'm actually not. I'm actually
That's
not.
not true. And sexuality is such like a weird, interesting, confusing thing. And the more I learn about like just the spectrum and stuff, it's hard for me to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm very attracted to this human and they're telling me that they're not a woman. I'm absolutely going to respect that. But also, can I get your number?
But also, long dramatic pause. Can I get your number?
So yeah. So it's like, I don't want to be like, oh, yeah, lesbian. And they're like, oh, shoot, well, you know, I'm not a woman. I'm like, okay, just kidding, actually. JK, queer, can we talk now?
Can we circle back? Can we land the plane
Let me take my
back
foot
on
out
this
my mouth real
runway?
quick.
Oh boy. I mean, I could see how that's problematic. I get that. I get that.
So, yeah. So, anyway, that's been my like roundabout way of saying that yes, lesbian, but also to other gay people, we're gonna go. We're gonna go with queer.
Okay. All right. Would you like to share your coming out?
Well, it was all over TikTok.
It was.
It
It was.
happened.
That's true.
It happened on TikTok, as so many beautiful things do.
So
Um,
many beautiful things.
but yeah, the algorithm figured me out way too quick, incredibly quickly. And I was scrolling through TikTok, staring through my window as one does. And I was like, damn, there's a lot of lesbians on my TikTok. This is interesting. And I was like, wait a minute. That's because you like women, Maggie. It's because You're into women. That's why all of the people you follow are lesbians. That's why you're on lesbian TikTok. Fun. I was like, oh, hey, look at that. Interesting revelation. And yeah, so I sat with that for a while, and like as other people who came out later can attest because I've seen these TikToks too. um, a flood of memories hits you where you're just like, oh my God, why didn't I? How did I not think that? Like just a million things at once, like from the people I dated to like the Barbies I collected to like why I was obsessed with certain celebrities over others. Like my whole dating history was literally me just deciding to date my best guy friend at the time because they were the person I got along with the best.
Yeah. So Olivia has similar memories in that way that like she after she came out as bi, like certain things hit her and she was like, "Oh, that's what that was." And it's like, "Oh, this is fascinating because I've known since I could walk." I
Yeah.
don't know, like I don't know, like fourth grade.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth grade was a rough year for me. I hit puberty. I got 36 double D's overnight.
Oh no.
My period started like the week before. I mean,
Oh
it was a rough year. It was
no.
a rough
God,
year.
puberty hit you hard. Damn.
Like so hard. Like it was like I went to bed one day and woke up the next and was not the same.
Oh no.
It was rough. So rough. But yeah, so like I don't have these experiences, right? Where I like look back and I'm like, oh, that was because you were in love with that person. It was like, no, it's because I wanted to sleep with her. Like I know that. Yeah, I know. I'm confident. I know that.
Yeah. Well, like even those conversations are like hard like saying like you've known cuz like it wasn't that I didn't know. It wasn't it just and like maybe Olivia would say the same thing. Like it wasn't that we didn't know at the time. It just felt like we couldn't. So
Mm-hmm.
my like I know I understand now, right? That like the my best friend from first grade who was a girl who we spent every single freaking day together, like all of our time together when she moved and I was just like devastated. Like absolutely crushed. Like I understand now why it wasn't just like another friend moving away, you know, and like why no one could ever replace her. Like well,
Because you were in love with her.
that
Yeah, that
makes
makes sense.
sense. Yeah. And so it was like things like that where it was like I was acting on it, but like it felt like I couldn't. And so I do have like a lot of memories, like especially in grade school, where when we did hit puberty, like sixth to eighth grade stuff, where people would start asking like, "Wait, are you a lesbian? Like, are you into girls?" And I would be like, "No, obviously." Yeah,
Obviously, me and
obviously.
James are making out later.
Yeah.
I've scheduled it. Duh.
I've scheduled it. His mom said we could hang out in the basement. Okay.
Oh, dude, that just hit that gobsmacked me with a memory I haven't thought about in a long time. And like,
I hope it wasn't a gross one, but please share.
no, no, in like, oh my god, what grade was that? Second, maybe. My best friend in the whole world, Eric. We were in his basement. We were playing video games, and I remember this so distinctly. I remember being like, "Do you think we should do that like kiss thing?" And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Just on the face, just really quick. Like, I just want to
On
see
the
if."
face?
I was like, "I just want to see
Oh my
if
God,
I'm into this."
stop.
And I remember it happened, and I was like, "Nope, hate it,
I love that.
hate it."
I,
And then, so at the plasma center I worked at, he came and donated plasma. And he was like, "Hey, do you remember that one time?" I was like, "Don't fucking bring that up to me ever again." I was like, "Don't fucking talk to me about that ever again." I was like, "I legitimately don't
on
ever want
the
to talk about that again."
face. Oh my God. Yeah.
We were playing SSX Tricky, which is a snowboarding video game
Okay.
where they
I'm
where like
unfamiliar.
you do a special dance move and it's like S to rock around and record time is tricky.
Oh my God, amazing.
Oh
What a
yeah,
memory.
so
I love that that's a core memory for you. How beautiful. Tell us about your
I
coming
hate
out,
it.
Kristine.
My coming out was super easy. So seventh grade after school, it's like the first week of my seventh grade year. My mother picks me up in the car. I sit down and she goes, "So you like girls, right?" And I was like, "Yep, 100%." What I really said was, "Yeah." And then silence. And she went, so we're going to have pizza for dinner tonight. And I was like, great. Sounds good. And none of us ever talked about it ever again. It never got brought up again. It was never a conversation again. She didn't get weird. I wasn't banned from having girls in my house. My
Nice.
girlfriends stayed over all the time. She only walked in on me one time, thank God. But it was bad. Like it was like I was in.
I don't think I want to know.
I was. Well, no,
maybe our listeners do. I'll tune out.
No, I just my.
Tell us now. We need to know. We need to know.
You couldn't see me. Okay.
Oh, God.
I was exploring things. And so my poor girlfriend at the time was just like,
oh no, how mortifying for her.
Yeah, by my mother. Well, she didn't care. She was the one who was sleeping with my best friend at the time anyway.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who was like sneaking out random nights. And who I came up on her For You page the other day.
Did
she messaged me, and she was like, what a weird, she like introduced herself. And she was like, what a weird thing for you to come up on my For You page. And I was like, ha 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 ha, so weird.
Block.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I did go to her page and I was like, bitch, you messaged me, but you don't even follow me? Like,
rude.
For real. I was like, okay, well, that's unnecessary. We only dated for like 6 months, and I am by far probably the most bitter about our breakup.
Obviously.
I don't know.
Because she obviously thought that you wouldn't remember her if she felt the need to introduce herself.
Dude, I held that grudge forever.
And now hopefully she's going to know that.
Well, like, no, she knows, because right after my mom had her suicide attempt, me and my best friend and her went out to lunch, and she like tried being like, hey, I'm really sorry about your mom. And I was like, hey, you know what? Go fuck yourself. And she was like, that's a lot of hostility. And I was like, you broke my heart. And she's like, that was 6 years ago. And I was like, or was it 3? No.
Oh my God, Kristine.
It was 2 years ago at that point. She was like, that was 2 years ago. I was like, still upset about it. She's like, we dated for 6 months. I was like, still heartbroken about it. Like, still.
Okay, I need to know what she did to you.
Well, there was a third part. She had a super high sex drive, like insatiable sex drive.
You were teenagers, so makes sense.
Right. We're having sex 2 or 3 times a day, and that wasn't enough.
Okay.
So when I would go home for the evening, she would sneak out and hook up with who at the time was like my arch nemesis. But after
that's right.
After that, this is the person who had slept with my girlfriend before this one as well. So like, I really hated this person. This was the person that I filled their shoes up with water and put it in the freezer. We were at a party one night and I filled their shoes up with water, and I taped over the lace holes, and I put it in the freezer, and it was like February, so there was snow on the ground, and it was a whole thing. So and then it all came tumbling down, and like I found out that she was hooking up with this person, and then we broke up, and like a week later she was dating some dude, and they were together. They ended up being together for 2 years, and I was like, gross. Like, this is, and that's how it always works. When a woman leaves another woman, and for a man, it's gross. It's not gross in that like ew, it's just gross in that like it hurts different, it hits different, because you feel inadequate.
Okay.
Like, if she were to leave me and actually date the person that she was hooking up with, which was great, by the way, because that person then thought that they had a chance, and then they also got their heart broken, and I was like, fucking right you did. Fucking right you did.
God, still bitter about this. How many years later?
Well, and then that person killed my cat.
Oh my God. Who are these people? Thank goodness you don't live there anymore.
So, oh my God, I know. So the one that helped my ex-girlfriend cheat and I became good friends. And I basically was like, hey, we're going through some stuff with my cat right now. Do you mind taking him for a little while? And she was like, yeah, of course, no problem. She took him. He ate a Christmas light. It tore up his intestines. And then she was like, hey, he doesn't look right. So I had to take him to the vet. And the vet was like, we got to put him down.
Oh.
And so I had to go through the heartbreaking thing of putting my cat of 13 years down. And then they actively tried to sleep with my not even ex-wife. And it was the cycle kept repeating itself.
Okay, good. So like, you're out of that. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm so happy you're not there anymore.
Me and Voldemort split, and like not even 2 weeks later, she messaged me and was like, hey, guess who just reached out? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And she's like, no. And they're very obviously wanting to do things. And I was like, oh my God. I said, it's been 2 weeks. And she's like,
Wow.
yeah, I know. And sent receipts, like had receipts. And I'm like, this person just never got better. It's never good. Bonus points. Lauren, who I'm really good friends with now,
Mm-hmm.
it's their ex. And then I got to find out all the tea about this person as a partner and was like, oh my God, no, you really aren't a good person.
Well, why did you expect that they would be if they have actively tried to get with your exes before?
I thought maybe that was just like
What?
mask lesbian energy, like us just not vibing because we're both masks,
Is
or
this why
well,
you
we're
have this like mask lesbian theory? Okay, I need like somebody needs to write in or comment wherever you can. Do other mask lesbians feel this way? That like there's just this like weird tension
yes, all the time,
between.
all of them, all of them. I swear to God, I swear on everything. Ask any masked lesbian, they'll be like, yeah, when you walk into a room, all of the other masked lesbians are clocking your ass, and you bet your bottom dollar that masked lesbian is going to walk over to whoever they are there with, their wife, their partner, whoever, and they are going to mark their territory. They're going to put their arm around them. They're going to give them a peck on the cheek. They're something to say, this one is mine. If you come near it, we're fighting.
I feel like
I'm
that's
not even
all
kidding.
lesbians though. I've been in a room full of I feel like that's all lesbians though.
No, no, yeah, in
You
general,
know,
it's
because I think
lesbians.
like femmes can be like that too.
Sure. You just, I'm from the Midwest, and in the Midwest, that you only really ever see a masc and a femme. Like, you don't see a lot of femmes together very often.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Not as often as you see like a masc and a femme.
Hmm.
And so, for instance, my ex and I would walk into a bar and I would see another masked lesbian. And if that masked lesbian wasn't right next to someone that I knew that they were dating, I was like all over it. Because without fail, I would walk away and they would circle like a little shark and they would be like, hey. And I'd be like, fuck,
Stop.
leave. I'm like, you don't even look like Ellen. Go. Like, it's a whole thing, dude. It's a whole thing.
Oh no. You had to pull Ellen
It's,
into this? Leave
I
her
know.
alone.
It's like Utah. Shark circled me, right? Like, that's,
You just feel that way.
do I though? Because I thought we were friends, and then all of a sudden we just weren't.
You guys have never even met though.
I would love to. I doubt they want to.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would be a disaster.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean like okay, whatever. I don't know.
But then, okay, so then like lesbian plant dad and me are friends on TikTok. Mask lesbian. Mask lesbian.
Yeah.
We're fine. Me and Courtney Craven. Mask lesbian. Mask lesbian. Do you know what the difference is here? None of them feel threatened by me. None of them are worried that I'm trying to swoop in and steal their woman.
Right, right, right.
Utah is secretly concerned that I would be swooping in to steal her woman, despite me being obsessed with mine and
Yeah.
very in love with her.
Very much
God,
engaged.
very much engaged, very moved in, right? Broke the distance, all that.
Yeah.
No. Nope. No.
I mean, anybody who isn't feeling secure in their relationship is going to behave that way, regardless if they're mask or femme or other.
Correct. My anecdotal evidence is that masked lesbians are disproportionately insecure. It's just.
Oh, that's what we were saying. Gotcha. I'm on the same page. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope,
That's
100%.
where this all circles back to. And I think part of it is a lot of masked lesbians end up dating bisexual women. I think, again, disproportionately.
Yeah, I would agree. I see that a lot too.
And there's a level of insecurity built into that, right? Because it's like,
Sure.
am I enough
Sure.
that she doesn't want to go to a man?
Sure.
And that circles all the way back to, wow, it hurts a whole lot worse when they leave you for a man.
Okay.
And the whole thing is, right, like they're leaving you for someone. Does it matter who it is? It shouldn't. It should hurt just the same.
Yeah.
But there's some baked in, I don't know if it's a misogyny thing or like a patriarchal thing where we're like, men are better. And so like that them leaving just reaffirms that, and then we hate that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'd love to hear other people's perspectives on that too, because that's so interesting. It's like I
And masked lesbians have daddy issues. Anecdotal evidence, but daddy issues often.
fair, fair. I'll take that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I don't. Not all of them, but certainly some of them.
I definitely feel like if I was dating a woman and she ended up leaving me for a man, I would be like, "Whoa, dodged a bullet. You obviously do not have brains."
Uh,
What are you
I would not
thinking?
insult the person's
What
intelligence.
is wrong with you? No, just kidding. Obviously, if they found someone that's better for them, they found someone that's better for them. But really, I'd be like, all right, go for it. Go off, sis, please.
But like for instance, my ex ended up with a man, is now engaged to a man, and that's fine. The big piece of that though is we split before they got together.
Yeah.
Had they got together while we were still together, I would have been like, "Oh, I wasn't enough." Just simply I wasn't enough.
Okay.
For nothing other than the fact that I wasn't a man.
Okay.
And that's flawed in itself. Like that's got its
Yeah.
own inherent problems, but that's where all that circles to.
Man, this episode is very gay.
This episode's super gay. Super gay.
This one's definitely for the girls, the gays, and the theys.
The
100%.
girls, the gays, and the theys. Yes, yes.
So, interesting. I can't wait to hear feedback on this one. I really need to start promoting it. Also, I forgot to tell you,
Me as well.
somebody jumped into my live and said they love our podcast, which was probably your friend, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I that was really flattering.
Do you remember the username?
I think it was like Michelle something.
There's a couple Michelles who follow me. Could have been them.
Well,
That's
I
lovely.
don't know where they came from, but they popped in just to say that and then kind of popped out. And I was like, that was adorable. And I can't believe that happened.
Oh, that's so great. We just hit like I think we're at a little over 3,000 streams. I think we're close to 4,000 streams.
That's crazy to
We
me.
have 400 people that regularly listen weekly.
Okay, so if well, there might be a bunch of them that are named Michelle, but if you popped into my live, thank you. That made my day.
I can't believe I missed a live that you had. You don't do those. I haven't done one in a while either. I haven't had the home time, but
Yeah, I've just been so out of the whole TikTok thing for a while. I just haven't felt it, you know? So I've been trying to get back into it. And, like, honestly, I've been going live during work. So it's like maybe mid afternoon for you. So you're probably
at work.
at work or jujitsu or dinner or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been I don't know. I'm interviewing a virtual assistant later this week. I left the creator fund for one day and felt so guilty that my videos weren't making passive income that I immediately rejoined it.
Are you kidding?
No, dude.
You like made a TikTok about it and everything.
The financial guilt of leaving it. Like I lasted 24 hours and I'm like, God damn it, I missed that day of income.
And me, by the way, I checked my creator fund and I have like enough for like 3 trips to Starbucks.
Whoa. Whoa, dude, so cool.
I know. How exciting. It's like barely a tank of gas.
I make like $1 a day or something like that. Like it's not much at all. It's not
But it adds
enough
up.
that I
Yeah.
should have cared.
Right.
But immediately I was like, nope, Kristine, you're not getting anything. What are you doing? So the plan is to talk to this virtual assistant. And if this virtual assistant has experience getting brand deals, and their wage isn't insane, I'll probably jump on that. I found a new energy drink that I would really like to work with. So
okay.
I'm not shouting them out here. They don't get free. They don't get free press.
They gotta email you first.
If they decline me, then I'll probably give them free publicity because then I'll just be bitter about
it. Then they'll all then they'll all decline you. No,
well,
if you're in the energy drink industry, email Kristine. She's definitely your girl. I am not. I'm coffee through and through. If Starbucks is listening, let's do it.
If Starbucks is listening,
I literally bought like a case.
I would love for some martial arts stuff to get involved. I would love for some
we are such two different people.
Video game stuff to get involved. I would love for honest to God, if I could find a way for someone to pay me to build puzzles and show them off, I'd do it in an instant. I just
I
want to build a puzzle.
I really wish I had your goals. I really do. Like I'm over here mad because like I never responded to Tomboy X, and I'm trying to get Parade to work with me.
Oh my god, no, dude. I
I just
want this
want to be in
virtual
my
assistant.
underwear on the
No,
internet.
I want this virtual assistant to reach out to like Ravensburger and be like, "Hey, do you need a puzzle sponsor? I got one for you."
Oh, you pure soul. I love that. I
Oh.
hope that it works out, and we'll need an update next week on how the interview went, and because now everyone's invested in your virtual assistant.
We'll see how it goes. They responded to my Instagram post, and they already follow me, and that's what they do for a living. And they're queer, and
Amazing.
they have a corgi, and they're on the East Coast, so we're in the same time zone. Bonus points. Uh,
Perfect.
so we'll see. We'll see.
Meanwhile, I'm also on the hunt for a virtual life assistant. So if anyone listening,
Do you maybe the same one has time for you? Maybe we'll figure it out.
yeah, let me know. Let me know how it goes.
I will.
It's actually, it might be helpful if they're up like 3 hours ahead of me most days.
Probably, honestly.
Set my schedule for me. Thank you. All right. Anyway, this has been
Well,
fun.
this was a lovely episode. Bye.
Thanks for listening.